Biz. What up, dude?
Is my mic on?
Hey, everyone, before I even let Biz talk, welcome to the Chiclets Cup. Sorry, Biz. I'm just going to get this out of the way because I want to talk about DEVOUR foods. DEVOUR frozen foods, buffalo-style chicken mac and cheese. They're delicious. What's the word? Indulgent. I had to look. Indulgent versions of your favorite meals. Boom. That's why we're here tonight. Representing DEVOUR, the Chiclets Cup. Don't even know how many times we've done this. Maybe the 6th?
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Wow. Are we going guests or rules first, Biz? Do you remember?
Let's save the guests because we have a couple.
Okay.
We have one imbecile and we have one stud. I'll just put it that way.
Suck on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so first we're going to go over the rules.
We're
going to go over the rules. We got a best of 3 series, 4-minute periods. Big. The loser's gone. You'll never see him again. They stink. You must play as the team that you first play for. Must play as the team that you play for in the NHL if you're an NHL guy. Tonight, we do not have that. So if one of these guys wins, they got to continue using the same team the whole tournament, or whichever guy wins. One of them will win. And the championship will be Xbox winner versus the PS4 winner. Who knows when that'll be? But now we can talk about who's here. Okay? I'm going to go first with Pat Connaughton because this stud Boston guy, Arlington, Massachusetts, Biz. You know what this guy did? He was the 4th rounder in the Major League Baseball draft by the friggin' Baltimore Orioles. And then he didn't even decide to play baseball. He goes to Notre Dame, lights it up, and plays in the NBA now. 6'4", 210, which are my measurements. But this dude jumps out the gym, and my vertical ups are maybe 12 inches. So you could take over the description of the next pigeon that he's playing against.
Wow. Speaking of jocks.
Oh, there he is.
Look at the jock sniffer himself. I don't know if you guys know this guy, Frank Borrelli. You may not have seen his face before, but you may recognize his voice when he was on our podcast and got bent over by Sean Avery coming in on the top ropes on him. He's probably in poopy pants right now, knowing Matt Barzal is going to get bought out or offer sheeted or whatever the fuck it is. But welcome to the Chiclets Cup stream.
Frankie, you got did dirty.
Frankie Borrelli.
Oh, yeah, this is what happens every time I come on this show. There's no honor and integrity in this show with you guys. You bring me on, you sandbag me with
how about this? You
pick a picture where my tits are popping out and I'm whiter than a ghost. I mean, come on, man. Has there ever been a bigger juxtaposition between a regular person and an athlete?
You need a bra. And you need a tan. And let me tell you something. Right now, what you got on your face doesn't help the cause either.
I'm trying something out here, guys.
That's Crosby. That's Crosby-esque.
What else am I supposed to do? I'm 26 years old. I got to look like a man at some point. I can't walk around with that.
That's the man look. But still, I respect the effort.
Can we go back to that picture? It looks like you were superimposed on Phil Mickelson's body. Look at those.
Yeah. Look at those nipples, man.
Look at Connaughton, too. Just biceps ripping, hitting the 3, and Frankie's fucking taking your order at Borrelli's Pizza. Shout out Borrelli's Pizza. Order from there now.
Let's talk to Patty a little bit. Obviously, no drug testing in the NBA. You look pretty ripped in that photo.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do in order to hang with the athletes in the NBA.
And Biz, Patty Ice, as you see his name down there, told me that he's played this game because all his buddies growing up were hockey guys. And so if he wanted to play a video game with them, it had to be NHL. So we're not dealing with some NBA scrub who doesn't even know the rules of hockey.
Arlington Mats, baby.
Shout it out, Spy Ponders.
And you're going to be representing the hometown team in the Boston Bruins?
Absolutely. Can't go anywhere else.
All right, who's home and away here to start?
Yeah, how do you figure that out?
It's up to you guys. I'll be away. That's fine. I'm the guest. I'm not the normal hockey guy, and I'm quite confident.
I like that. And you like shooting down. Don't you shoot down if you're the away team twice?
I don't think you do online, do you?
Okay.
No clue, but we're excited to have you on. So we're covering all major sports here. We're excited to ask you some questions about how you're such a two-sport athlete and getting drafted to the MLB. But we'll let you guys get started off by picking your teams. Frankie, we'll talk about your Islanders quite a bit. I know that we just dropped our Elliot Friedman interview that we did in Toronto on our YouTube channel, and he is convinced Matt Barzal is getting offer sheeted. So just starting you off with some good news here.
He's editing his lines, Biz.
Yeah, he's dropping the third liner.
I know my guy. Listen, I know where my guys gel correctly, and I wanted to get Bales with Brock Nelson. I wanted to get Brass on the third line. Listen, I'm working these things out here. Going Barley in net. I got the Islanders behind me. We got a nice text from the captain. So he's the captain, Anders Lee, went to Notre Dame, as Pat did as well. So we get a text message. I'm like, oh boy, who's the captain going to pick here? Is he going to go Notre Dame or is he going to go the Islanders? He said it was a tough decision, but he had to back his Islanders. So I got the captain behind me tonight.
Wait, are you buddies with him from school, Pat?
Yeah, and he's just holding it against me because I used to go over to the hockey dorm, play him in Shell, and may or may not have come out with a few wins back in college.
And listen, if you got a hoops player coming over and dummying you in Shell, that's just a tough look. You're a little embarrassed no matter what if you're Anders Lee hearing this.
Anders, he's one of my buddies though, so I can't talk too much about him. He did on Frankie though.
Yeah.
All right, let's get these teams selected and kick things off, and then we'll dive. Hey, wasn't Notre Dame? Is that an all-guys school, or is there a girls' school across the street or something like that?
There's a girls' school across the street, but it's not an all-guys school.
Oh, okay. You would think so if you went there, though, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's like, no, my wife's from there.
I just heard. I heard it's a bit of Cocktoberfest. I didn't know there was girls. I thought it was separated. My bad.
Imagine recruiting top end talents for football and being like, yeah, it's an all boys campus, but you'll enjoy the road trips. All right, hey, you guys got to press start here.
Yeah. So everything's good here. Okay.
Yeah, I think that it's all. I think I'm assuming Blattman or Mikey can tell us that everyone's just been playing. Yeah, good to go, Mikey said. So,
all
right,
there
we go.
Unfortunately, we're at the Barclays Center, the absolute fucking abyss of NHL hockey.
Look at the jerseys P. Drizzle picked. Those things are the 1920s Milt Schmidt era. Oh, I can't say error. So apparently Biz thinks I'm saying error as in a baseball error the shortstop makes when I'm actually saying era, but I have an accent.
You put an R at the end of that for sure.
Shit. Frankie, being a big-time Islanders fan, how about this building? What a bummer.
Absolute joke. But you know what? If you look at the history of it, it's the only reason the Islanders are still in New York.
Oh, because that kept them. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. I wonder where they would have gone.
Who knows? Charles Wong did everything. Oh, man, not a good start here, boys. Charles Wong did everything he could to keep them in New York. Now he's dead. Rest in peace.
Jesus.
Buzz Killington over here, just like Marty Mush.
Marty Mush came on here and was like giving us death numbers from wars. I'm like, Marty, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Shut up, please.
Yeah. He got pigeon tossed by NJ Devil. Patty, I got to ask you. So you got drafted to the MLB by the Baltimore Orioles in the 4th round. What made you pick basketball? Just the fact that those guys are making bank, and it's probably I guess you were better at it than baseball.
Actually, the opposite. I was probably better at baseball. Ooh, NBA hit right there. I was probably better at baseball, but basketball, like I figured if I didn't make it, I could go back to baseball. I had a better chance of it at least. And basketball, I could not have gone back to it. I mean, you need the youth, you need the athleticism. My wrist.
Sir,
that's a hack.
So you might be like MJ. You might just, halfway through your NBA career, be like, let's go the baseball route now that I've secured the bag.
I don't know if I have the same negotiating power as MJ. He did get paid his NBA contract when he went to the minor leagues. I don't know that I got that in me, but maybe at the tail end of my basketball career, I'll try my best to get up on the hill once or twice.
Is it true that you still do throw in the summer though?
It is true. It is true. You got to keep the wing loose.
Yes.
Nice little insurance policy.
So, were you thinking, or did you? Sorry if I'm mistaken here. Did you play both sports at Notre Dame, or did you just go with basketball?
I did play both sports at Notre Dame. I went baseball for 3 years until I got drafted, and then I went basketball for 4 years. So
I thought you were drafted out of high school. Excuse me for that.
Thank you very much.
I was drafted out of high school, but I chose to go to Notre Dame instead.
Joshua Bailey, no big deal. That little line change with the connection
Frankie,
with Brock Nelson.
Switched him up.
I'm telling you, that connection with Brock
Nelson. That is a great look for you right there. You switch your lines. You know what, though? Here's the thing. You prove that coaches are such clowns, some of them. They'll make a switch, the guy will score, and the coach thinks it's 100% because of him. Biz, you know what I'm saying?
Like Frankie's doing right now?
Yeah, he's proving that, like, when I would get screamed at by a coach and then play good the next game, he's like, that's because of me. Like, no, man, I was just bound to have a good game at some point. I had 5 bad ones in a row.
Yeah, I agree.
Frankie
Biz doesn't like me.
Oh!
I think
Biz loves you.
I was going to say we got to start talking to Frankie to distract him, because ever since we started talking to Patty, he can't get the puck out of his own end.
I know.
Frankie, you guys, on the other hand, the Foreplay boys, are playing Kevin Kisner in a match.
Yeah.
Is that next week?
It's on Tuesday. We leave Monday.
So, Biz, these 4 guys are playing a scramble where they take the best shot and then everyone gives it a shot from there. And they're playing against Kisner, who's obviously playing his own ball. And they stand 0 chance of winning.
So each spot where the ball is, each of them get to hit it, and they keep taking the best shot. What about around the green?
Everywhere. Yeah. They get 4 putts. Every putt, they have 4 putts. The issue is off the tee, they need a good drive. I mean, I guess you need a good drive on every shot. But, Frankie, what's your thought process going into this?
So we're trying to decide, like, what is the strategy, right? Like, do you put your best guy first or last? Like, because you kind of want someone that sets the tone, right? So, like, a guy like Riggs, who's played Pioneers number 2 a bunch of times, should he go first? Should he go first because he knows, like, all the bounces and, like, where to leave the balls on the green and stuff more than we do, as opposed to if I go up there and try and rip one, like, it's almost like a waste of a shot.
But on the other hand, you can look at it like, if your best player goes first and happens to hit a bad one, then the lesser players are like, oh my God, pressure's on. Right. They go first. In the back of their head, they know the guy behind me is going to hit a good one.
True, dude. It's long. It's 7,600 yards. So you're talking some absolute bombs. I think the 4th hole is a 550 par 4. So it's what are you supposed to do? But Kisner also has to play it that long. So, like, Kiz isn't a lock for a par or birdie on that hole.
Yeah, he's probably a locker for par birdie on most of them, though. Look at Eberle. We're on a delay, by the way, you guys.
Oh, okay. So hold the.
No, you can celebrate. It's just that we don't see it for about 3 seconds.
Pat, I'd imagine you're a pretty good golfer too.
I do like golf. I don't know if I'm good at it, but I like it.
I don't sense you're not very good at much, Pat. I mean, like, you just don't. You played quarterback at St. John's too.
There we go. Off the
1-1. Yes.
Off the schneid. Pucks on net, fellas.
Who was that? Krug?
Yeah. No. Grizzlick.
BU boy.
What kind of shot was that too? It was like a muffin. That thing came in 5 miles an hour.
I don't know. It's change up, baseball guy.
Who do you have in the net right now, Frankie?
I had to go Varley.
Okay.
It is crazy we have that 2-goalie system.
Yeah, that's the new age, though. Teams
Yeah.
carry 2 good players, and you save a little money, I feel like. Pay 2 good guys less than you'd pay 1 huge free agent.
I think that's the argument now, because, I mean, long-term expensive deals for goaltenders, at least in recent memories, hasn't really worked out for NHL.
Oh! My guy Anders Bjork with the assist.
There we go.
Well.
Nice backdoor tap in.
Biz, I have Connaughton because he's from my neck of the woods. So how much am I down to you? 100?
I think you're down 150 right now.
Jesus.
So we'll go.
I'll bet 150 on this one.
Okay, fair enough.
You might want to raise that one, Whit.
Well, I can only do. He's not gonna let me end up money if I win. I'm just trying to get back to even.
I hear you.
Oh man, we got to talk about how Aaron Rodgers ended up purchasing part of the team you play for. Is he like a Jerry Jones type owner coming in there and just chucking chairs and yelling at guys?
No, he's a great dude. I actually had a radiothon yesterday to raise money for COVID relief, and he jumped on it with me. And
really?
There's a story I'm sure you guys would enjoy. Last year during the playoffs, I was trying to save a ball out of bounce. Aaron was sitting there courtside with Danica Patrick, and I almost demolished both of them. Almost ran into both of them. Had to do a real big time job of avoiding the contact. Aaron, like the gentleman he is, put his hands out, protected Danica. He got a nice little press for it. We dapped up after, but he didn't forgive me for almost laying him out.
Well,
Oh, I was just going to say maybe he set that all up to protect himself from the beer chugging incident, because I know that you know what I'm talking about.
Bukhari does chug beer better than anybody at our games. That's for sure.
I thought Aaron was trolling, but then of course all the Packers haters, I'm a huge Packers fan, were saying that Aaron Rodgers doesn't know how to chug a beer. So I was trying to defend him, that he was trying to beef up his lineman and give him the attention because Aaron is so used to getting it all.
I think that's a great way to look at it. I'm not sure if that's what was going on, but I would give him money.
Sir.
Oh, I give him that.
I can't get it out of our own end here. This is brutal. All right. God.
Hey, Pat, you had an absolute show at the dunk contest this year, huh?
Yeah, what'd you think about that?
You're jumping through the roof, dude. You've always just had ups. When did you first dunk a basketball? What grade were you in?
8th grade.
No shit. So you're just dunking on kids that are like 5'5", $140.
5'6", but yeah, you're right.
We had a debate once on the radio with Dave. Like, if you had to just have a skill and you I don't think it was like you can make the NBA or become a professional singer, but would you rather, as a guy, like have the skill to be able to get up and like sing a song on the guitar at a bar, or be able to dunk at like men's league basketball?
Oh, sing a song on a guitar. I mean, you got to think that's going to be a little more valuable for you than dunking.
The feeling of showing up to the feeling of showing up to like the park and being able to just dunk on guys, like imagine that, just hanging on the rim and shit.
You look terrible too, and you're like, "Hey, just put me in, man. Watch," and you're just ripping alley oops over people's heads.
We're gonna talk about that user save, by the way.
Yeah, that was nice. I didn't even know that was possible.
What are the chances the Greek Freaks ever played Chell?
Not high.
Is he the man?
High. He's the man. Yeah, great dude.
And you must see just ridiculous athletic achievements daily with that guy.
Yeah, it's actually somewhat tough to put up with. Like, it gets to a point where you're just like, oh yeah, no, I saw that. Like in the games when all you guys are like, oh yeah, that's unbelievable. We're like, yeah, we saw that yesterday at practice. Actually, it was a little bit cooler then.
Yeah, it's nothing to you guys anymore.
Yeah, he's really good at the sport of basketball. Ooh, can't do that in Chell, huh? Can't trip.
No,
my bad.
We've had guys on. Keith Yandel came on and was saying how much he thinks you should just turn off penalties, but I think the game's too realistic now.
Yeah, a lot of poke checks, and then some of these games can be so long when guys are just poke checking. It's penalties every 5 seconds.
Barclays Center looks like an AHL rig. They got the guy in the corner. What's the mascot of the Islanders' name?
Sparky the Dragon.
Sparky the Dragon.
Woo! Shorty?
Puff the Magic Biz Dragon. Oh my God. Bruins are just a better club.
Shorty?
Oh, wait, I'm supposed to be cheering for Frankie here.
Yeah, you got Frankie.
I was gonna say,
Nordstrom looks like Frankie. Who's more pale, Frankie or Nordstrom?
Frankie, you got blonde hair?
No. Brown hair.
Just checking.
He's got the Leo facial hair going on right now with the ball cap.
I grew out my beard just for this game, just to be like a hockey guy for a day.
Hey, speaking of, we were talking about NBA earlier. Are they kind of on the same train as the NHL, where they might pick a couple host cities and get things back going?
Yeah,
Notre Dame. Shout out Notre Dame.
Yeah, I wanted to give that one up to him. I told him I'd give him a few goals. I think they're trying to narrow it down to maybe one city or two at the most. We haven't heard yet, but there's been a lot of like optimism, a lot of like tweets, a lot of things from Woj and Shams talking about how they think there will be some sort of direction here by beginning of June, which would be nice.
Yeah, it's a lot.
What do you guys think?
Probably a lot easier for you guys to stay in shape, given you can just go find a gym to do shoot-arounds, Whereas an NHL guy, these guys weren't able to go to rinks and find ice. Like, where were you still training at?
Maybe.
Green. So they shut down the arena, the facilities for us also. So we weren't able to. We weren't allowed to go to public gyms, so we had to find ways to train also. But I mean, you're right. For basketball guys, like it's less important. Like, you can find outdoor courts, you can find different things to shoot on, you can find things to run up hills and weight vests and shit, stuff like that. So having to skate, I can't imagine. You got to find ice time.
How many games did you guys have left?
We had 17.
You got a nice team there, man. You guys are legit.
Yeah, we were rolling. We were rolling. I know there was some. I'm a Boston sports guy till I die, but not for the Celtics, obviously. And there was some animosity last year when we took them down in the playoffs between some of my friends, and I believe some of the Barstool guys weren't huge fans of yours truly.
Hey, that means you're doing something right. Unless you're on their team and they hate you. That's what I dealt with. That's when things are going sideways. But it must have been great to beat like your hometown team. How many games did that series go?
It went 5.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Dummy. No wonder you guys were getting death threats.
This is probably our most entertaining game through 2 periods, Biz.
Yes, for sure. I'm dialed in
They both seem pretty evenly matched. What a play.
Let's go, Frankie. Let's go, Frankie.
We would have already known. Oh, you passed it to the covered guy, Frankie.
I know. That short side is tough in this game.
Oh, you got to do you got to do cross side one timer.
Yeah. Oh, even though I just scored short side.
You did just score short side.
I know.
Frankie, how's your dad's spot doing? Borrelli's. They're hanging in there or what, buddy?
Yeah, we're trying, man. It's just like everything. Like, how much longer can you go when you're not fully operational, right? Like,
yeah, we need to get.
We're down hundreds of thousands of dollars at this point. Like, we're a huge restaurant, so we sit 225 people on a weekend. You have all those people coming in, hockey games. 80 people, concerts. 100 people. We're doing parties. We're constantly turning over the inside of that restaurant.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but the community rallied around us in the beginning, which has been great. But it's just like we're actually on our hands and knees outside building an outdoor area now, like putting down cement, and like we're trying to just adapt. Nice. Like, no, people are afraid of coming inside. Like, we're gonna do a movie theater outside, so we're gonna do a drive-in movie theater spot. So we're trying to adapt, man. It sucks. Like,
what movies are you gonna play? What any idea of your first film that's gonna be?
Like, we're gonna show older movies. So like we were thinking like The Sandlot for the first movie.
Yes.
Maybe like Finding Nemo for like a family one, and then I was gonna show the 1980 like Stanley Cup game. Try and get a bunch of Islander fans in there, just like reminisce like Tonelli, and it'd be such a good broadcast.
Frankie roots for a team that he's never actually been alive for a Stanley Cup, but he can watch when he was.
Dude, I don't know if you guys saw, but John Tonelli was my dad's favorite player, and he got his name raised to the banner before the season got canceled. And we went to the ceremony. My dad's there, and his old school like stuff, like all his clothes on. And Tonelli, is making his speech, and my dad's crying in the stands. He's like, I was there for his first game, and now he's getting up to the rafters. I watched 4 Stanley Cups in these seats, and then Tonelli's walking off the ice, and my dad's holding a sign that says like Borrelli loves Tonelli, and Tonelli points at my dad through the glass and like you I remember you. Like, it was a crazy moment. My dad comes back like a kid, but he's like, his eyes are like watering. I'm like, Dad, you met your favorite player. It was nuts.
Now you know why Frankie is the way he is, Biz.
Yeah.
What a jock sniffer? I'm a jock sniffer too, man.
That's like wholesome sports, though, right? You watch your guy, and then you end up getting to watch him go to the rafters. The whole thing. You know what? I actually know nothing about John Tonelli as a player. Like, I don't know what he did. Like, what he was
made
a role guy.
Okay, but he was. I mean, not many role guys get their numbers retired.
Yeah, well, 4 cups, and he was like a fan favorite, right? Like, he'd always go to, as Butch likes to say, Butch Gore in the dirty areas. Oh my God, Brock Nelson, American hero who loves to play the game. Josh Bailey with the assist. I'm telling you, these guys have a connection.
Why do you say that about Brock Nelson all the time?
we were I was actually talking to him about like, because I used to tweet out a picture of when he got like drafted, and it's like an embarrassing picture when he was like 18 years old, 19 years old, whatever it was. And like he's like, what is this picture? Like we gotta find something. Like if I'm scoring all these goals, like we gotta find something to start like figuring this out. So I was like, well, what do you want me to do? And we were just talking. He's like, oh, I'm just a good guy who likes the game, like family guy, like. So we just like came up with like a thing, and I just do that every time he scores. He's actually been having 2 great seasons ever since that happened.
Hey, I got to ask you about that time when that series between Carolina and the Islanders. Was it Brock Nelson who tapped the goalie on the head after they scored, and then after the series, Dougie Hamilton gave it to him in line? The little pat on the head. Was it Brock Nelson?
Oh man, this is starting to get ugly here, boys. Yeah, it was, but there's rumors that he was just trying to. There's rumors that he was just trying to get out of the way, right? Like get around the goalie.
Oh, there's rumors. Those are the rumors.
Yeah,
crazy rumor mill about that. Oh, is that Bouvier?
Yeah, Bouvier. Yeah,
that guy is a nasty hockey player.
He's great.
He's Jets.
How about Pajot hasn't won a game for the Islanders yet? They lost 7 in a row when they got him.
Oh my God! I actually forgot the Islanders were playing their way out of the playoffs as all this hit.
Yeah.
So how about this stat, Biz? You might have sent it to me about the odds changing in terms of teams if this 24 thing goes down.
Oh, it's wild. There's a lot of people upset at the fact that all of a sudden it's 24 teams, and of course Montreal and Chicago squeak in, but it goes back to the revenue and what they've lost so far. Now I can understand on the business side of it. And is that why you're bringing up this topic of conversation?
Sort of. I mean, I also was more just kind of talking about the playoffs after realizing the Islanders could have basically not gotten in if it had continued, and now they're going to be one of the 24 teams. So it's just a different example of teams getting helped out maybe by all of this happening.
And they get healthy, right? Like guys like Pellick were out the whole season. Now he's back. Like the Islanders were about to play like 4 more games without Cizikas, and all like their team was dwindling. They were getting hurt. Now all of a sudden you get 3 months off.
That's true. There's a few teams that are getting some guys back. Colorado probably being the most dangerous. They were dealing with a ton of injuries. Now coming into this thing, they probably look like one of the teams I'd pick to win it if it gets going again.
What's your guys' take on like whoever wins this? Like, is there an asterisk next to it? Are they feeling the same way as a team that has to go through the same shit that the teams in the past had to?
Biz, what do you think?
Well, listen, as a guy who's not playing in the midst of this, it's a coin flip. Of course, I'm going to have my opinion. I don't know how seriously it's going to be taken, but we just had Alex Killorn on the last podcast, and he said he was talking amongst the guys, and he's like, no, he's like, every team's going through this. It's going to come down to the team that's able to get things back going again. The team who took the break a little bit more seriously than others, which, that's another conversation in itself. Like, think about all these young guys that are experiencing this for the first time, and these young guys that are coming up through these systems are so regimented, right? They're on a schedule. They're getting fed when they're supposed to be getting fed at the rink, and they're in their training zone where now all of a sudden they're left off on their own to fend for themselves. Where, I don't know, are these young guys taking care of themselves and training the way they should be? Or are teams like maybe Tampa Bay, where they understand that this is one of their years where they need to capitalize, and they're all in Tampa right now, are they holding themselves accountable and staying in better shape than other teams? So there's so many variables going into this thing that make it so unique. And I definitely think that a team like for instance, Tampa would have the advantage, and or Colorado, because they're coming off tons of injuries. And you would imagine when you're doing so, you're trying to get in better shape as of a team who had a bunch of guys who were ready to go when they were rolling. And then all of a sudden it's essentially another summer break, and they're all boozing and maybe not eating as well and training as hard as they should have been.
What about guys who were quarantined in cities and states that were less strict about like being able to go to gyms and like actually like being able to work?
Gyms open anywhere?
Well, no, but like I know like New York, you literally can't like leave your house, right? Like there's got to be some states that were a little bit more lenient on like public perception of leaving houses and stuff. Like I know a lot of golf courses were open in certain states like all year.
Well, let's ask Patty. I mean, did most guys leave Milwaukee? Did most guys leave Milwaukee in your guys' case?
No, most guys stayed. Most guys stuck around.
So I think teams who mostly stuck around to their cities and still had access to at least some of the resources they would have been used to are going to benefit strongly from it. Like, you got to imagine if I was playing for the Rangers and I was living downtown, I probably would have head back to Welland, Ontario in order to get the heck out of there, just because of how condensed it was and how you didn't really have access to anything and you'd be confined to your small apartment.
Yeah, it's true.
Frankie, I think that it's the pandemic cup, and they're just going to take the bowl off the top of the Stanley Cup and give it to the winner, and forever they'll be like, yeah, they won the cup when 24 teams got in.
I like that. You got to sanitize it first.
Yeah, wash your hands before you grab the cup.
Dance? Were you all up in that? Like, did you watch that like a fucking kid in the candy store or what?
Yeah, that was a blast. I was a big fan of that.
Like, what? Like, when you're like, are you watching that? Like, I can't even fathom what that guy did, or like what that team was about, or no? Are you kind of like, I'm in the NBA, I can kind of do the same thing? Because like when we watch it, it's like he's a mythical creature. So
yeah, no, I mean he was definitely different, but he was very, very similar. Like Kobe, the stories you hear about Kobe, very similar. So
yeah. I'm pretty sure at one point Kobe said, I wish I could put my DNA into my teammates. Like, he was dogging his teammates. Like, I don't quote me. Not that we're on like a live stream or anything, but since I think you guys got to just press new game or whatever. My boy Pat's got to tie this series up. We haven't had a game 3 in any of these, but Jordan's career ended. You were what, 4 years old?
Pat, let's back out and then do it so you can be home playing Boston.
You want to play in Boston?
Right? We should swap that. Or am I allowed to go to the left? Yeah.
No, Grinelli says you have to be home team both games.
Oh, you do? Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Because I think the graphics are already set and stuff.
Gotcha.
Pat, I don't know if you heard me. Like, you weren't like a basketball fan when Jordan was going. So who was your guy growing up that was like your idol?
My guy was Paul Pierce, Boston guy.
Yeah, the truth.
The truth. And I mean, like, I admired him. He was there when they weren't good. He stayed. He stuck around and obviously helped them win a championship. But just the way he did it, he was never like the most athletic guy. He wasn't Jordan. He wasn't LeBron. He wasn't these athletic phenoms. But he was tough. He was gritty. He knew how to, play. He knew how to make his teammates better. The whole thing. Hey, Whit, should we change up the jerseys or are we just saying that was a warm up?
Go to the go to their current black ones. If it's on there, I think it's like their third jersey now. I like those.
I need.
You had a few. I mean, you gave 5. You gave up 5 unanswered there. I think like you were gone. Your game's fine.
Yeah. Frankie's home, so he's got the dark jerseys. So I got.
Yeah, true.
Should we stick with it? Should we just stick with it?
Stick with it.
Yeah, stick with it. I like it.
I'll go light. You want? All right.
No, we're good. We'll stick with it. We'll bring out the blacks for the game 3 funeral.
I love the confidence.
I just can't give up a breakaway. I can't play goalie like you. That user save changed momentum of the game.
It did, man. It did.
Honestly, changed momentum of the game. I was up 3-1.
In that game, you took control of your goalie and stopped them.
Yeah, dude, he was coming down a breakaway. I poke checked with Borrelli like outside the crease. It was nuts. No one was paying attention. I was out here sweating my dick off, being like, I just poke checked a breakaway in the middle of a conversation.
I didn't even know what happened.
People have asked me about this Chiclets Cup presented by DEVOUR. Unbelievable frozen food. Check it out. They've said, like, are the guys able to even talk to you while they're playing? That seems hard. So I thought it wouldn't be. Is it more difficult than you'd think to talk to us?
Yeah, that's why I lost for sure.
Thank you. I won't say another word this whole stream. Everyone will sign off, but at least I'll win my money.
Yeah, 100%. Priorities, man. They don't gotta like you. Not everybody liked Kobe, but he won.
Exactly.
Sometimes the silence is nice too, though.
It is.
Isn't it so relaxing on this live stream?
So you want to talk about Barzell?
Sure.
What do you want to pay him, Frankie?
Well, it's all going to change now, right? Because payrolls are going to. Oh, you shouldn't have done that, Pat. Come on, that's a mental error, man. You can't be making mental errors against me like that.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Pizza. Devour pizza right up the alleyway. Indulge in that one, Patty.
Large cheese.
So, like, what do you guys think is fair for him going into? I mean, like $9 million a year, 9.5.
Well, what did Matthews and Marner sign for?
11.
Yeah, and he's not going to have the numbers that either one of them had, I don't think, right? I mean, his rookie year, he had more points his rookie year than last season, correct?
Yeah, he won the call. Yeah, he won. So he hasn't. Yeah, last year he was way down in assists.
And part of it, he's saying is, well, my numbers would be bigger if we didn't play this defensive system, and it screws me. And in the end, that's how you get paid is producing the points. So I don't think that he's going to get 11 unless he gets offer sheeted. That's what it would take in an offer sheet. I don't know if the Islanders have already said if they'd match anything. It's tough to imagine that they'd put themselves in a position where they're going to match an offer that they just don't feel right in paying him. But I know fans, including you, would be furious if he's gone.
You can't lose him, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't lose your two franchise players in the matter of 3 years. Like you just can't. Like you got to do whatever you got to do to keep these players. Like at the deadline, Lou tried to make moves, right? He tried to get Parise. Even during the offseason, he tried to get Panarin. Like, it just didn't work. Panarin took less money to go to the Rangers. We don't like to talk about that much. And now he's a fucking filthy animal.
He's incredible.
I can't get away from that guy. On the Ranger games, he's averaging 5 points a game. It's crazy.
He is. Yeah, I didn't know if he could bring it to this level, especially after signing that big deal where now all of a sudden you're under the bright lights. But he's in the MVP conversation for this year.
He's a guy that every time he touches the puck, he's going to do something with it. He's reached that level where, like, when I'm the opposing fan and he's coming down the ice, I'm like, oh shit. I feel that with Ovi, I feel that with Sid, and now I feel that with Panarin.
Like, he does it everywhere too. Like, analytically, you look at his numbers; they're through the roof. He's able to score the highlight reel goals. He shows up in big games. I thought they were farther behind on their rebuild in New York. I would say in the next 2 years they could have a team that's within the top 8 of the league.
I agree. I give them a lot of shit, and I like to talk like bad about the Rangers, but there's no denying how good this rebuild's been, right? Like,
well,
I've also denied, like, it's not really a rebuild when you spend that much money on, like, Panarin and you go out and trade for, like, Trouba and, like, is that really a rebuild, or are you just like?
Well, they never really said it was a rebuild, right?
Well, but
they sent out a letter to their fans saying, "We're sorry, we have to trade like Ryan McDonough and all these guys. We have to rebuild."
Well, two things. Of course, they have the money in order to snap it around. Some people would say, well, under salary cap, there's only so much you could do so with.
Oh.
But you're the New York Rangers. You're able to attract those type of free agents because people want to go there and they want to be under the bright lights. And, some guys, like, for instance, Panarin, he played in Chicago and he's probably used to being, playing in front of that many people and pressure situations. So some guys, they almost need that in order to elevate their game to that level. And what a signing that's looking like. And then we talked about it earlier. You go to the flip side of that is, all of a sudden you got a guy like, Bobrovsky, and he goes down to Florida. When you hand over that kind of money and maybe the rink's not packed and the pressure isn't there, it's hard to get yourself elevated for games. Now, Patty, we haven't really been talking to you much. We're talking about contracts. That is chump change in the NBA. And we're talking about that 10 million number.
Yeah.
What's a max deal now in the NBA?
Well, it's going to change because of the COVID, obviously. So, like, max deals are all big.
Oh, Jordan. That's Witt's guy right there. His old roommate. Look at that shot.
Max deals are all based off the salary cap. So, like, you can get, if you're a super max player, you can get up to 35% of the salary cap. So let's just call what it was before this, before COVID. And, like, Giannis was on slate to make 5 years, $253 million.
I mean, the
you want to do that,
and how global it is. There's nothing like the NBA. I mean, how many guys are on the roster? 12?
15.
Oh, 15?
13 dress, 15 are on like the roster.
What's league minimum?
League minimum depends what year you are. It goes up every single year by like a little bit. So like league minimum is for 50-year guys 1.7.
It's kind of off topic, but I meant to ask you this earlier. Where else were you thinking besides Notre Dame? Like, how did it end up that was the choice? Just felt most comfortable?
Yeah, the two-sport thing was a big deal for me. UCLA.
Yeah, I know all those SEC teams. I feel like would be even.
Yeah, UCLA, Vanderbilt were my second two choices. I looked at Florida. I looked at Boston College and stuff, but at the end of the day, Notre Dame was just it. Irish Catholic kid from Boston and got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, needless to say, it worked out for you.
Yeah, it did. It worked out. It worked out solidly.
Did you ever play in the Cape League?
I did. In between my sophomore and junior year of college, I went down. I played in the Cape League for the Harwich Mariners.
Okay, so Biz and Frankie, if you guys don't know, the Cape League is one of the cooler things going in amateur sports, I'd say. Cape Cod, beautiful area of Massachusetts, unreal beaches, great summer area to be. They have a league where the best college baseball players in the country go down and they like bill it with families. And I don't know if you guys have jobs, you can tell me, but then they play big time baseball games with wooden bats at night. And it's like tons of fans go. And every year there's probably 15 guys that are going to play in the majors.
That's unreal.
More than that.
Oh, really?
My team in general. And, Jesus Christ. I got to stop talking to you guys.
Why you got to pay the guy?
There was probably like 15 guys on my team, and like 9 of them have been in the show, and that's just on the Harwich Mariners. So
on one team?
On one team, yep.
I went down to a game with my friend Brendan Byrne. He played at baseball at Harvard. He was down there. His team had Andrew Miller, the big lefty stud pitcher. I think he got one. Evan Longoria. It's crazy. Look at that. Right when I start talking
Andrew
more.
Miller,
so there's only guys from that area, or people come from all around?
All over.
All around. Yeah. I was like probably I'm from Boston, obviously, like we know, but like I was probably the only kid on my team that was anywhere in New England, let alone Boston.
What's the town like with all these like sick college like? Are you guys just like boozing it up in between the games? Like,
it's unbelievable. I mean, it's just like literally a summer on the Cape where like, you have some jobs, like you can work camps and stuff with kids because the parents will pay money for teams to hold camps and stuff. For the most part, it's just you're at the beach during the day, you're playing baseball at night.
And Frankie, if you want to get a better Hollywood version of this, it's Summer Catch with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Summer Catch. I was just with the that's that league. Movie. He's like he does the landscaping.
He's basically Connaughton, the local kid with a fire fastball.
Yes, Summer Catch. That's a great movie. I didn't know that was the Cape League.
It's no Sandlot.
No, no. God, no. It's actually kind of terrible.
Patty, we got to talk to
you. You guys stop talking to him, and this guy's about to tie the game up. It's crazy.
Stop talking to me, and we go. Just quit. Start asking Frankie some questions.
Oh, Chara? Chara's driving the net on a 2-on-1?
Yeah.
Short-handed.
Some questions.
Frankie, your last 5 rounds. Give me the scores.
What? Oh,
in golf.
I've been playing a short course Rockville Links a lot recently. It's like 6,300 yards. But that's like kind of my go zone because I don't have to take driver off the tee a lot.
Yep.
But I've been going. I went 83, 85, 88. I think there was a 91 in there.
All right.
But right around that, like 85.
83's good. 83 is good playing.
Yeah.
What happened on the 91?
Dude, my game, I can go, no joke, on any given day, I can comfortably shoot an 81 to 103. And there is and I feel comfortable about both those numbers. Like, yeah, that was like all the things went normally. Like there was nothing out of bounds. Like it's crazy, man. I have blow up holes like you wouldn't believe. I'll shoot 103 and still walk away with 4 or 5 pars during the round, but I have like 5 triples.
I was with you. You made 4 pars in a row, I think.
Yeah, you left. I got hot.
So for people who don't know, Frankie, you're Dave's right-hand man. And I mean, that guy's been on fire all pandemic. What has he still been all over you editing these pizza reviews that he does from home?
Yeah, we've been honestly, it's been really great. Dave's been on more now than I've seen him like in the 4 years I've been working here.
Yeah, he's insane.
Like when we're in the office, it's like you have a regimented schedule. You know, you will get in a certain time, you do the radio a certain time, do pizza a certain time. He's all hours of the day now. It's crazy. And he's turning things into these like must-watch. Like, I mean, his stuff with the stock market is hilarious.
Yeah, it's millions of dollars.
But I'm still doing his stuff. We have a new guy actually on the team that's really good. He used to be Brady's guy. This guy Kevin. He's like Dave's
Kevin.
new.
Kevin who?
What?
Kevin who? I know a guy, Kevin Brady, that was supposed to be Tom's guy.
Bonner?
No, I don't know. I'm just trying to get you. I'm just trying to get you to keep talking.
Yeah.
Shit.
Come on, dude.
I thought it was the third period for a second.
What do you make of what do you make of the caller daddy stuff, Frankie? I mean, unfortunate.
I mean, did you pop a bottle of champagne or what?
Honestly, no, man. I don't like confrontation like that.
Come on. There's not a party that wanted like that one episode to get the one just like that memory to just get erased forever, like just put into the abyss and you never have to think about it again.
You mean when I was on their podcast?
Yeah. Well, that was the center of contention, right? Like that whole podcast. That's why you guys have that rivalry.
It wasn't really a rivalry. What it was I had never listened to their podcast before, right? I heard it was raunchy. And, you know, of course, having the history that I had, I was comfortable going on there and maybe divulging this, you know, about my history or my past, just like I would be on our podcast. But they came in like very aggressively, and once like they asked me to show them my cock, and I was like, okay, well, like no, like I have a job and I work with an NHL team. I can't really be that aggressive about things. And it seems like they didn't really have a backup plan. So when they started like dragging my name through the mud, like I was a boring interview, I'm like, I mean, I think we're all aware of what their interview skills are. They have a show where it's like they film for 9 hours and they take the best and they trim it into 50 minutes an hour. And so I was just kind of calling them out for what they were, because I'd heard they weren't treating people at the office very good. And then, of course, you know, called it when we were on the radio about 7 months ago, and then this all happened. So
I will say though, like, you know, they're a juggernaut. They're huge, man. Like they've built up, like Alex specifically. I think she's super talented. Like there's no denying that. Like what they do is like it works, right? They're just an absolute monster of a podcast, and she does all the editing. And she like, I just think like it was a huge miscommunication between those two. With contract talks and all that stuff, like that's crazy. With so like, I mean, I don't know if you guys looked into all that, but that's insane. Like they couldn't get on the same page, and one person wouldn't do it with the other.
They were making bank too. They were making bank. They were being greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now Alex is back. Water under the bridge. Let's go.
Hey, Frankie, how come all my buddies keep telling me to ask about your wedge game?
Well, it's because they want to get in my head, but there's no one in my head more than myself, and that's my new go-to motto. Like you're not going to get in my head more than I'm already in my own head. So
are you good off the tee, not good with wedges?
I have the worst wedge game in the world, and it's not even like a shtick. People like that's all you talk about. That's the only thing he can talk about. I like go out by myself and play like with like my buddy, and we don't have a camera, and I want to hit a good wedge shot.
You're not by yourself.
Like I'm just saying, we're not like with the podcast. I'm like, I want to hit a good wedge shot here. Like I want to have a good time, like in golf. Well, and I skull one into like someone's backyard, and I'm like, this fucking sucks. Like that's not fun at all. I can't do it, dude. It's crazy. I have no sense of touch.
Speaking of wedges, Graham Delaet, we were talking about him the other night. He started hitting his wedges with one arm, like with one hand on his club. Have you seen that yet, Whit? No, I've seen people chip cross-handed. I've seen, because you can. Like the yips in golf, I mean, it happens putting, it happens chipping. Tiger Woods couldn't chip at one point. I don't know if you remember that. He was like skull
when he was on 18, when he was on 18 at the Masters last year, everyone when he had that chip on 18.
Oh yeah, he had to make he had to get big bogey.
Bro, if he like just bringing me back to those chip and yips. Like, imagine it just hits him right there in that spot. Like, there's no chance he makes bogey from there.
Patty, I got a question for you. Completely random, but NBA lifestyle on the road. What's because hockey, you go to the rink, at least most teams pregame skate, it's sort of changing the day of the game. What's basketball? Are you even seeing guys until tip off that night, or is there morning shoot arounds and all that?
There's morning shoot arounds. So we have morning.
You always have to go. You have to be there.
It depends on the team. Our team does a good job of like, it depends, like back to backs. No, we don't have shoot around. Depending how we're playing, sometimes coach will make it optional. Guys like myself show up because I like to keep my job. Second round guy, gotta make sure I'm up in there. But other than that, like for the most part, we get to the arena like 3 hours before the game. We will lift, we'll shoot, we'll do an on-court workout. Like Giannis will be fully sweating with 60 minutes until the game time.
Interesting.
Is basketball huge where he grew up and lived? Like or was that kind of crazy to see him make it from there?
It was crazy to see him make it from there, for sure.
When did he leave that country in terms of like development wise, or was he there until he came over to play here for the Bucks?
He was there until he came over to play here, and
Holy shit.
He's like a big like family guy. Like he's really respectable in that realm. So like he was sending all of his money back. Oh shoot, to Greece. You my charger for the computer. Sending all of his money back to Greece for his family until they got their green cards to come over. And if they hadn't got their green cards, I think he would have gone back to Greece.
He's gonna pay. He's gonna pay Greece's national debt with his next deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The G and GOP will be for Giannis.
So we always talk about wrenches on our podcast jokingly. Could you imagine the ones he's seen in those locker rooms with?
Oh my God, just hammer time.
Weapons.
MC Hammer time.
I'd be showering in the corner all covered up like a
I don't want to go without saying I've been hard on the NBA for being a little soft of a league. I mean, even your guy Paul Pierce, known famously for leaving the court in a wheelchair and coming back to play. Like, you played football, you played baseball. You must see a couple instances of like toughen up in the NBA.
I mean, it's one of those things that like it's become part of the game. Unfortunately, like the
soccer
fouls. Yeah, I wouldn't say as aggressively as that.
Neymar.
Hey. Yeah, we played over in Paris this year. And we all get to chill with Neymar for a while, and he's a huge basketball fan. So I was thinking actually the same thing. Like I hope we don't start flopping like they do over there, PSG.
Man, how tiny was Neymar?
You should have seen him next to Giannis. Giannis just had a baby boy. It looked like his kid.
Giannis is like, I'm popping out dumps bigger than you, Neymar.
All right,
Borrelli
this is coming down to the nitty gritty.
I know.
It is.
It
is.
And I don't want to be down $300 to you. I really don't.
You guys did 150 a game? Oh no! Oh, you're already down.
We were doing 50 a game, but I won the first one, lost the next 4, so I want to get it all back. Patty Ice told me to go heavier. Thank God I didn't.
I know. I didn't.
Well, no, this isn't over though.
Oh,
Patty, do you have a shoe deal?
Yeah, I'm a Nike guy.
Nice.
Must be nice.
Yeah, Nike had to do it.
How about in that?
Oh, what is that?
That may be the game, boys and girls.
You passed it.
That was he lost the puck. He lost the puck in it. Pajot.
How about that thing in the Last Dance where Adidas like passed on MJ because they didn't want to like you got to think that that's one of the biggest decisions that have ever been made in the wrong way. Well, true.
Yeah, I feel bad.
That's relatable.
I feel bad for whoever was in charge of that deal.
But Adidas is still aren't they right there against Nike?
Well, the reason I said Kanye is because Adidas went away for a while. And I think that now, based on a lifestyle brand standpoint, Adidas has probably surpassed Nike. But overall, globally, like with the basketball, even the soccer shoes, Nike is basically untouchable at this point.
Even running shoes.
Running shoes, yeah. Adidas, as far as a lifestyle, though, when they ended up signing Kanye, because I don't think Nike wanted to give Kanye his own sector. And for that was important to Kanye. And listen, some people on here might not be down with Kanye, but his lifestyle shoes, they move units. They're doing well.
Pat, since you guys play, you guys play on a court and there's no boards and no glass and you're right on top of the fans. Like, do you guys notice when there's like celebrities in the crowd, like more than another athlete would? Like, are you guys like constantly seeing them like when you guys are playing? Does it get distracting at all or no?
No, not really. I mean, most of the guys are friends with the celebrities.
Right.
So
it's so funny. You watch like Spike Lee like getting in the mix with like fans are actually getting in the mix with players in basketball, and I always found that to be such a funny wrinkle as opposed to every other sport in the world. They don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, it is. It's honestly partly why it's like basketball itself has done so good as like as a league, because you literally get to be right on top of the guys who are playing. Like Giannis falls into the seats once a game. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, people pay to just like be close to like see it. And it's also like, that's should have been a goal. It's also like just seeing a game from that close, how much faster it is, and like how much more contact there is than you guys probably think. Not more than hockey, obviously, but
there is more. It's more physical, but then you'd understand. I will say the other thing that goes into it is hockey has all the pads, and football the pads and the face mask. It's like you just see basketball players how they look off the court as well. So I think it makes them that much more recognizable. Besides the fact they're 6'11".
You see their face all the time.
This is going to be a really stupid question to a basketball guy, but you're a small forward, correct? Shooting guard?
Yeah,
small
shooting guard.
So forward, the term small forward is there like they play the same as forwards?
Man.
What just happened?
Who is that? The save behind the head.
Fucking A.
I thought you buried there.
Is small forward the same thing as the regular forwards? You're just shorter?
No.
Okay. So what's the difference?
No. It's oh shit.
Who's the best small forward in the NBA?
Giannis, but Giannis plays every position. So if you're gonna make it's tough because there aren't really. It's different than hockey now. It's not really positions.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean?
Is it LeBron like a 1 through 5?
Yeah, LeBron's a 1 through 5. Giannis is a 1 through 5. Like it's all about versatility now. It's all about can you like size and athleticism. Can you couple those two things together and really, be able to play anywhere on the floor?
Okay, so tell us about some of these guys you play against, like LeBron. I mean, we don't really get to ask many people that because we don't talk to any. So, like, what's it like playing against LeBron?
I mean, it's like playing against probably somebody who's the size of an defensive end, but can run and jump as if. Oh, what the? Can run and jump as if he's like an Olympic athlete.
By the way, we got to remind everyone again, this is presented by DEVOUR, the Chiclets Cup. Show your mouth a good time. I've been cooking this up as buffalo-style chicken mac and cheese. As I'm come on, dude.
Oh,
hey, I should win the game for that.
That's crazy.
Was that auto stop?
Oh, no, that was me controlling the goalie.
Frankie got in his own head, which is a huge issyou for him.
Yeah, he did it in period one.
Doc Cole still hasn't recovered from when he got lit up in that Ranger game. You guys remember that? It was like towards the end of the season. He had his head down.
Yep.
Trouba put him into the
Trouba put him into the clouds.
It was crazy.
Do you have any crazy fan stories, Connaughton? Because I mean, NBA fans must be to a different extreme.
Yeah, I mean, nothing like crazy. I would say, I can't score. Six chiclets.
I just got a Venmo request for $300 from Biz. Boys,
Ebbs is on fire.
So Borrelli moves on with the Islanders. This could be the cup the Islanders win, finally, the Chiclets Cup.
That would be my life, right?
But
that
boys,
would be wild.
Thank you very much for coming on. Thank you to DEVOUR. Biz, do we have Del Zotto again tonight?
We have the Pink Whitney Power Hour starting here at 9 o'clock or 9 o'clock Eastern anyway. So right now, we've been doing it back-to-back weeks. It's a couple of the NHL guys hop on, request songs. We have a couple special guests. We got to thank Borrelli, who's going to be moving on, for joining us, him and the Islanders. Patty, unfortunately, I thought you were going to beat him when we get to see you again, but thank you so much for coming on. Best of luck if the season gets going, and looking forward to finally meeting you in person when I get out to Boston.
Appreciate that, and if there's a consolation bracket, let me know. I'll be over here working on my game for the next I don't know, until the NBA season comes back. So if you see me in the NBA season and got ripped thumbs, you know why.
There we go.
NIT. We got the NIT bracket starting soon.
Yeah.
NBA, Major League Baseball, and Chiclets Cup. It's the triple crown. So we appreciate it. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. Have a great night. Check out Instagram now. See you, Frankie. See you, Pat.
Instagram Live, Del Zotto, Pink Whitney Power Hour now.